Good morning, everyone. My name is Madyan and together with my partner YiHong, we conducted a quantitative study titled User Engagement in Small and Large Reddit Communities. Today, we will explain why community size matters in shaping users' experiences on Reddit, and we will discuss our research findings and explain how these findings can help online community managers, moderators, and platform designers create better online communities. So the background of Reddit is Reddit hosts millions of communities that vary greatly in size. So Reddit is one of the largest online discussion platforms in the world, consisting of millions of communities, also known as subreddits. And these communities range from very small groups, from only a few hundred members, to thousands and millions of users. So although Reddit has been widely studied, most previous research focuses only on user behavior, such as posting and commenting frequency, or analysis existing Reddit posts. However, very few studies have directly asked Reddit users how they actually feel about participating or communicating in different sizes. So our research therefore focused on understanding whether community size influences these important dimensions of engagement: the cognitive engagement and the effective engagement and the behavioral engagement. So it also examined users' motivations and psychological barriers when participating in Reddit communities. So our research gap and objectives. So first, from reviewing previous literature, we identified several research gaps. First, there are very few quantitative studies comparing engagement across different community sizes. Second, existing research often focuses only on observable behavior rather than user-owned experiences and perceptions. And very limited research investigates motivations and barriers using survey data. So because of these gaps, our study had these two main objectives, which were to compare the engagement levels between small and large communities, and also to examine motivations and participation barriers. So our methodology to answer these questions. To answer these questions, we conducted a quantitative cross-sectional survey. We distributed an online questionnaire using Google Forms. Our final sample consisted of 213 participants. Amongst them, there was 100 from small Reddit communities and 113 which were from the large Reddit communities. So the questionnaire measured three engagement dimensions: the cognitive engagement, the behavioral engagement, and the cognitive engagement and the effective engagement. And so the cognitive engagement, which refers to learning and information processing, and effective engagement, which measures emotional connection and sense of belonging, and behavioral engagement, including posting, connecting, and voting activities. We also measured users' motivations and psychological barriers, and also perceptions of community size. For the statistical analysis, we used descriptive statistics, independent samples, t-tests, and chi-square tests to compare the two groups. Now that you have understood the study, why the study was conducted, we're going to move on to my partner, YiHong, who's going to tell you the results and the findings of what we have discovered. Thank you.
Thank you, Madyan. Now let us talk about the results. There are three main areas we are focused on: cognitive, affective, and behavioral engagement. The bar chart in the middle shows how small communities scored significantly higher on cognitive and affective engagement. This means users in smaller groups feel more connected and emotionally invested. Despite the differences in emotional engagement, behavioral activity remains similar across both sizes. This suggests that while feelings differ, action stays consistent. Moving on to psychological barriers, users in larger communities experience significantly higher barriers to participate in their own community. This could be due to feeling of overwhelmed or less recognized in bigger groups compared to smaller communities. Community perception also play a crucial role in allowing smaller communities to be perceived as more welcoming and comfortable for participating, and this perception fosters stronger engagement. So what does this actually mean? Smaller Reddit communities generate significantly stronger cognitive and affective engagement, lower psychological participation barriers, and better overall perceptions, while larger communities maintain similar behavioral activity throughout all the emotional engagement. The key statistics on the right highlights a strong effect size with Cohen's d at 0.5. This indicates a meaningful difference in engagement level based on community size. The p-value of 0.001 shows strong evidence supporting our findings. This statistic significantly underscores the impact of community size on user engagement. As for community comparison, smaller communities of around 100 to 1,000 members foster stronger cognitive engagement and lower psychological barriers, where larger communities of 1,000 and more have similar behavioral engagement but lower effective engagement. What makes this different is in the balance between engagement types is that smaller communities excel in emotional connection, while large ones maintain action-oriented behavior. This balance affects the overall user experience. So why does a community size matter? Recognition plays a huge role. In smaller groups, users feel more acknowledged and valued. This boosts their emotional investment and willingness to participate. Comfort and confidence also increase in smaller settings. Users feel safer expressing themselves, leading to deeper engagement, whereby larger communities might offer diverse interaction but can sometimes feel impersonal. Practical implications for Reddit and its users are significant. For Reddit, understanding these dynamics help tailor moderation strategies and community guidelines. For users, choosing the right community size can enhance their overall experience. Moderators can foster recognition and comfort in smaller groups, encouraging deeper participation. In larger communities, they should focus on maintaining behavioral engagement while addressing psychological barriers. For researchers, this study provides insight into moderation of online communities. Comparing different platforms can further enrich our understanding of user behavior. Community size shapes the quality of user's experience, not just the quantity. Smaller communities offer strong emotional connection, while larger ones maintain active participation. So in conclusion, community size significantly influences user engagement. Understanding this can help create better community management practices. We've also noticed smaller communities also consistently produce stronger cognitive and affective engagement, lower psychological barriers, and more positive over perceptions, where larger communities held their own in behavioral terms, but the emotional depth simply wasn't there. What this tells us, whether you're a moderator, a platform designer, or just someone trying to find a place online, is that community matters, and bigger isn't always better. Sometimes a smaller, more connected space means more meaningful engagement. The key takeaway from this poster is that if we want to build healthier online communities, we need to think beyond growth metrics. We need to think about belonging, recognition, and the barriers that keep people from speaking up. Thank you for listening to our presentation.